Joining me today is Cliff Majersik, Executive Director of the Institute for Market Transformation. Cliff, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, IMT is known as a conduit between the market and governments, especially cities, in helping those two entities work together to make substantial progress. Now, can you tell us a little bit about some of the latest regulatory developments that market leaders should be aware of?
2016 was another big year for benchmarking and transparency laws. There were actually, just in December alone, 4 cities that passed new benchmarking and transparency laws. And these are laws that require that buildings over a certain size, typically it's somewhere between 20 and 50,000 square feet, have to use the EnergyStar benchmarking system to rate themselves on a 1 to 100 scale and make that score transparent, available to the market. And the market will increasingly be seeing that because it's going into places like CoStar. So tenants and potential investors and others are using this information to help guide their decisions about where they want to lease, where they want to invest. And the 4 cities were Los Angeles, Orlando, Denver, and Evanston, Illinois, just in December. So now you have a total of more than 10 billion square feet of space that have these laws in place, where building owners have to benchmark and publish their scores annually. So this is certainly a major trend that building owners should be aware of. Most REITs probably already have buildings in the 20 cities that now have these benchmarking and transparency laws in place, as well as the state of California. And if they don't have properties in those cities, the cities where they do have properties may well have those laws soon. So it's a good idea to get out in front of that curve if they aren't already benchmarking, and most folks are already benchmarking their buildings. Go ahead and benchmark them now, find out where their scores are, and if there are areas for improvement where they could make cost-effective investments in energy efficiency.
And in your opinion, what's stopping commercial real estate professionals from fully unlocking building energy savings potential?
Well, there's a host of challenges. One of them is the split incentives problem. The problem that, if your tenants are paying for the energy, it's sometimes hard to justify investing in increases to energy efficiency that are going to largely benefit your tenant. Now, a way to address that is through green leasing, through win-win leases, so that the tenants will bear a share of the investment cost to the extent that it's saving them money. Another way is through these benchmarking and transparency laws and other transparency efforts, so that the market has information about what buildings are more energy efficient, and you'll get premium rents, premium occupancy for more energy efficient buildings, because the tenants realize these are savings that are going to pass through to them.
IMT recently published a report, Catalyzing Efficiency, Unlocking Energy Information and Value in Apartment Buildings. It analyzed substantial feedback from the multifamily sector to identify how key stakeholders in that realm can better act upon the growing wealth that we're seeing in terms of building performance data coming to the market. Can you tell me a little bit about that report and what it showed?
Sure. Well, that report built on this trend that we've seen of cities requiring benchmarking and transparency, the state of California requiring it, and increasingly those requirements are applying to multifamily buildings as well. So now you have this information available about multifamily buildings, how efficient they are, that they can be compared, and not only can that be a tool internally in terms of directing your investments at those buildings where the investments can produce the best returns, but also now the lenders are getting in onto it. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, they now all have products that will give you lower interest rates for your energy efficient buildings, and will also provide capital to allow you to first do a green physical needs assessment to identify specific opportunities for improvement, replace the windows, change the lighting, upgrade the systems, the building management system or the chiller or something like that, and then they will give you actual additional proceeds to make those investments, and they'll incorporate the projected savings into the debt service coverage ratio for their underwriting.
And last year, a Department of Energy report estimated that 20% reduction in energy used by America's commercial, retail, warehouse, and office buildings would save the U.S. $5 billion annually and reduce energy use by 940 trillion BTUs, equivalent to the entire electricity consumption of Mexico. It's quite the stat that they had there. Can you tell me how IMT is tapping into that?
Sure. Well, as I said, we have this problem with the split incentives problem. It's a matter of getting landlords and tenants to work together. And so we've just announced a new project called the Landlord-Tenant Energy Partnership. A number of REITs, a number of folks that are here at this meeting are part of that, as are some of the biggest retailers in the country, companies like Nike and Apple, Gap, that want to work together to make their buildings more energy efficient. And so they're focusing not just on green leasing, win-win leases, where they both come out ahead when the building's more energy efficient, but also things like green, energy efficient tenant build-out guidelines. So having guidelines that call for tenants to do energy efficient fit-outs. Green site selection, where the tenants are incorporating energy efficiency into the RFPs when they look to find a place to locate their store or office. Things like information sharing, so that landlords and tenants can both get access to the information they need. They have the contacts of their counterparts. Often, currently, they don't even know who to work with when they want to make a space more energy efficient. And there needs to be some give and take, some coordination between landlords and tenants, but also things like sharing utility data to enable the building owner to benchmark data and to know individual tenants how much they're using and who they should be working with to improve the performance of the building. Joint goal setting. Our EnergyStar score is here now, our water usage is here. Let's work together to set a goal for improvement for next year and the years after that, and a plan for how we're going to accomplish those goals.
Cliff, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Matt. Glad to be here.
For more on real estate and sustainability, be sure to visit REIT.com.